What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Abe. This is Eve Online, and we are getting into our I'm in Null, Now What series. And I wanted to draw your attention to the first and perhaps one of the more important ships you need to learn to fly and capabilities to have while in Null and going to Null. And that would be Interceptors. So, Interceptors are a Tech 2 frigate, and if we look, we can find them here on the ship tree. You just need Frigate 5, which is usually about a week's worth of training. And then they're right up here on the top. And so, let's see, I'm in an Amarian ship. There we go. So, there are two different types. When you go to buy yours, be sure you grab the right one. What you're looking for, and the reason why we're talking about this at all, is if you look, you can see it says one of them is immune to interdiction sphere launchers, warp disruption field generators, and mobile small, medium, and large warp disruptors. And so what that means essentially is that gate camps where people throw up warp disrupt bubbles, you can fly into and out of those with impunity. And so going into Null means you have to fly through a bunch of low sec space and null sec space, and it's dangerous. And people are setting up gate camps to try to catch people, and you don't want to be one of those people. And so this makes it so that you can fly into and out of those things rather safely. And so other than just buying and having the skill in the ship, you need to outfit it in a certain way. So part of what makes it safe is you can get its align time under the magic 2-second like bar. And why is 2 seconds magical? It's not magical. It just means that it's going to be virtually impossible to target. Not completely impossible, but you're going to be out and into warp well before 95% of people are able to target you, maybe more. So if you throw on these nanofiber internal structures, maybe an inertial stabilizer, if you use low friction nozzle joints, you can get your align time and entry to warp time less than 2 seconds, and that's your target. So do you need to have an interceptor in order to reach this warp time? No. You can do that in a number of different ships, but the magic of this ship is its immunity to the warp disruption bubbles and gate camps. So it's all right. So first off, get your align time and warp time under 2 seconds. Secondly, and this is my recommendation, because even if they can't target you quickly enough, they can smart bomb you as you land or as you're taking off. So I try to throw on enough, sort of passive shield stuff to give myself an effective hit points of 5,000 or 6,000 or more. Like a full volley. I think if a Macarial has 7 or 8 large EMPs, they can smart bombs. They can do something like 2,400 damage in each burst, and maybe there are 2 of them, so you want 4,800. I don't know. I just did a little bit of math, found that I tried to get mine above 6,000 and or above like 5,000 or 6,000. And that just gives me an extra layer of security and safety. So people are really chatty right now on, let's see here, on Discord. Why don't we shut that up? Yeah, so these interceptors have somewhere between 90 to 100 cubic meters of inventory or volumetric space that they can manage, and you'd be surprised at how much you can fit in that much space. You can fit a few valuable components or modules for your battleship size ships down in Null, and so you can use these to ferry components from Jita in and out of Null if you want. I do that sometimes. I can't fit like billions of ISK worth of stuff in there, but I can, I guess I could if I really was motivated, but I view this as somewhat of a transportation device to get me in and out of Null safely and to get around Null if I'm going from one, trade hub to another. It's a very useful tool, and it's good. It's generally good to have the ability to go where you want to go without worrying too much about people locking or trapping you down. So, interceptors. Step 1. It's a good way to get to Null. They are, unfortunately, if we look, they are unfortunately an Omega locked ship. So if you are not Omega and you want to live in Null as an alpha character, that's fine. You are totally able to do that. And like I said, there are other ships that you can get into this sub 2 second range. You just won't have the luxury of being able to fly right through gate camps or bubbles and things like that. So keep that in mind. It's definitely not a deal breaker, but some corporations will not admit you, and one of their base requirements out in Null is that you be able to fly interceptors. So if that's the case, maybe you'll need to find a different corporation, but don't be afraid. Come on out. If you're an Omega character, don't shy away from training into this. Like I said, it's only about a week. You don't need more than just 1 point in it, because if we look here, we get some bonuses to micro warp drive, signature radius penalty, and warp scrambler and warp disruptor range. Like, you're not using either of those bonuses if you're flying around and using this as a transportation device, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. I would just get level 1, get the ship, outfit it as you can see fit. Again, aim for less than 2 seconds, and friction nozzle joints, nanofiber, inertial stabilizers, things like that will help. And then make yourself a little bit tanky in a way that you don't have to worry about it, so that if somebody is, smart bombing at gates, you'll be able to at least survive one round or whatever to get yourself out of there. So that's it. Next time we're going to get into salvagers and why that's a nice potential career path out in Null. And we'll do that in the next video. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next video.